Last time I compared my PPS with the Taurus G2C, and we have since gotten back from Walther my PK380. So, I don't know if they cleaned it or not. Slide's been oiled. There's some grease on my safety switch here for whatever reason. So on the receipt it says they replaced the extractor, which I can tell there is another extractor in here. I'm assuming that's all they replaced, but who knows. One thing we can do now, though, is compare in size our different weapons. Now, the gun's unloaded, my magazines are loaded, so we just won't chamber any rounds because we don't want any accidents. But if we put the 6-round mag up against our PK380, let's see what we have size comparison-wise. These guns are almost identical in length, and I would say identical in width. Maybe slightly more with this dude, considering it does have an external safety. But all in all, they're relatively the same size, though. You do get a longer barrel with the PK380, you'll note. Barrel goes back much further. So theoretically, this should be more accurate. If we compare that to the G2C, these two barrels are identical. Which means stacked up against the 380, our G2C and the PK380. 380's still got the longer barrel. I'd say if we take into consideration the safeties, they're about the same width. What about height? Roughly the same, maybe a millimeter given to the PK380 with its magazine design. But that at that point is pretty negligible. So your PK380, which fires a 380, and your double stack 9 Taurus are roughly the same size. And this, mind you, is only 200 bones compared to whatever this thing costs. Plus, these things are known to be unreliable, especially this particular one. This, I don't know them to be unreliable. Haven't actually fired this one yet, but that'll be coming up. All right. So more comparisons then between these two, since those are roughly, we got the same length, close enough to the same width. When it comes to height, you can see PK380 is bigger, longer when you use the 6-round mag, but let's put in a 7-round mag. Okay, now we have our full grip. 7 rounds, 8-round mag. Put them up. PPS is actually still a scotch shorter than the PK380, only just though, similar to the Taurus. And also that came in yesterday with my Walther is, with my PK380 anyways, the 8-round mag for this PPS. At this point, I don't think you're going to want to conceal carry this gun. If you're going to slap the 8-rounder on here, this is more like, alright, I heard a noise in my house, let's go investigate. Or you're at the range and you don't want to reload as frequently. Feels nice. I wouldn't say it feels any better than the 7-round, but it doesn't feel any worse. Got a nice little lip here. Feels pretty good. And we can compare the overall length. And now the PPS beats out our PK380. Only just. I'd say that's probably negligible, really, because the part where your finger goes is the only part that's actually equal. It's only shorter towards the back. So I'd say if concealability is your thing, go with your PPS. Single stack 9 versus single stack 380. You do get more firepower in the 9, but you do have to use the bigger magazine to do it, if that's what you're looking for. PK380, if this thing was reliable, which we'll find that out on Wednesday, if it were, I would really would highly recommend this gun. It cycles great. It's real easy to cycle. Minimal effort. I rather do like this gun. It just isn't very reliable for me, but hopefully that will change. But if you're considering either of those two and or this Taurus G2C, this is really hard to beat for the 200 bones. You know, it's maybe a little bit thicker, but you're getting a lot more firepower with it. It's the same barrel length as our PPS. And of course a little shorter than the PK380. But you're getting 12 rounds, double stack. And if you like having a safety, yeah, there's a safety here. Kind of like the PK380. This doesn't have one. This one takes down. These two take down very similarly to each other. This guy's similar enough, but you do need the key, which bothers some people. It doesn't really bother me one bit. I don't mind. Not a fan of this style safety, though, where up is to fire. More of a down is to fire kind of guy myself. I have also decided that originally this was going to be the one I bought my dad, and I was going to buy mine black with the stainless. But I think he's actually liked the look of the stainless one better, so begrudgingly, I guess I'll give him the black and stainless one for his birthday, and I'll keep the all black one, so you'll see this one at the range when we go up against this guy, and then we'll do the final redemption run on this thing, and if it jams one time, it's gone. I will sell it and use that to pay for the other gun I got coming, which I won't spoil anything, but that one will be a real treat. So I do have one coming, and it'll be an older iteration of another one to come. So we got two in the works, in the plans, but only those two. And one should be here in a week. And if we want to just do any magazine comparisons, this is the 8-round mag for the PK, or correction, the PPS. So don't go by the witness holes really, because there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But you're going to see your follower on like that 8th one. At least that's how it is on the 7. See, this only holds 7, but the follower is on that bottom witness hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds. That's how these two stack up against each other in size. Flush 6. The PK380s. Up against our Taurus. Double stack. So in conclusion, I'm not going to say which one of these you should or shouldn't get. Oops, bumped my camera there. But you're thinking of any of these, here they are in comparison. You know, these two are striker. This is double stack, single stack, $100 cheaper than this. Same length barrel, roughly the same size in every other dimension. This one's slightly wider, and this one you can make more or less concealable depending on what your magazines. This one has more aggressive textured, safety, no safety. Both have their trigger safeties. Both take down the same way. They're both capable of firing plus P ammunition. And then there's this guy, which some would say not really comparable, but It's about in every dimension the same size as the PPS, with the exception of you can't really make the magazine bigger or smaller on this, but you can on the PPS. This one's hammer fired, but you get single and double action, ambidextrous safety if you choose to use it, and the takedown is similar, but you do need the key. The only difference, you have to stick the key, turn it, boom, that comes down, boom, comes apart. And then this does not have a captured spring on the guide rod here. So that takes some getting used to get it back together, but once you've done it a few times, it's actually not that big of a deal. Alright, there you have it, guys. PK380 up against the PPS, against the G2C. So you can make your decision on which of these guns you want if you were considering any of them. And with that said, though, I do have to mention that this one is not very reliable, or hasn't proved to be thus far. But if it were, I would recommend this gun. The recoil is very manageable. It's a very good shooting gun, very accurate. I love this gun. It feels great in the hand. Other than that nonsense I have with the extractor, I have no complaints with it. Now that I think about it, since I'm sitting here, I do have some of those snap caps, so let's see what kind of damage we can do here. Okay. Well, it hasn't let go of it so far. Well, it's keeping a pretty nice grip on it. Yeah, it's still gripping it. Yeah, firm. Well, maybe they finally fixed it. I don't know. I can tell it's been replaced. It is new. But I'll break it down and I'll inspect this thing fully here in a sec, so I won't bother boring you with that. But I don't know if they've cleaned it since they test fired it after repairing it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we'll see what's doing. So hopefully this thing shoots, because I got a shitload of rounds, like 400 and something. I showed you those boxes before, but Katie left like 2 boxes in her car. I think a box of Remington and a box of Federal. So I've got 100 extra rounds than the other ones I showed you that previous video. So this guy's going for his final redemption run. If it passes the test, we can put and or keep it in the rotation. These 2 are going in the rotation. And then we got that secret surprise I got for you guys in like a week or so. And we'll burn that bridge when we get there. So, alright. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace. Okay, so check this out, guys. I've disassembled this for cleaning. And here's what I have discovered. This is a completely new slide. I noticed while we were cycling it that this extractor looks a little more robust than the other one. And also, I used to have a little bit of a scratch here on the slide. It's gone now. And that's because this serial number is completely different than the one that was on originally. Because now these 2 don't match. So this is the same. They completely replaced the whole upper. I thought it was weird that my safety had some grease here. I was like, why'd they grease that? And I go, it was working fine before. It felt a little stiffer than normal. And that's because it's completely different. It hasn't even been worn in yet. And this slide's completely new. Look at it. There's no dirt in here. There's no nothing in here. They replaced the whole slide. And now, if we look, if you remember my other video, this extractor was kind of thin. This is way more robust. It looks like what they've done is they've actually, the little channel that rests in, that they've ground out. So these new ones must have more grinded in area here for that channel that's closer to where your firing pin is. And then so they have now a bigger, more robust extractor. So I got a good feeling about this, boys. I'm thinking this one's not going to jam, so I guess we're going to end up keeping it. Now, and I also thought it was kind of weird that there's like Loctite on my thing for my sights, and I was like, why'd they do that? Why'd they mess with the sights? Well, it's a different slide, so maybe they had to make some adjustments. But, oh, and then I guess the other thing to mention is these also do have metal sights. So, PK380 sights are metal, just like the PPS, and the G2C still have metal sights. Yeah, they feel pretty metallic to me. So, alright, there we have it, boys. We have solved the mystery of what they did. They did not just... See, that's weird, because they only... I have the receipt. It's like down the hall, and I'm too lazy to go get it. But they mention only replacing the extractor, but they replaced the whole slide. Which, whatever, I'm not complaining. As long as it works, that's fine by me. You can replace the whole damn gun. So, alright. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.